Okay, good morning. Let's try this again. This is my second time trying this. It is Thursday, March 26th, and I am on my way to work. It is a chilly morning, kind of foggy, not terrible, but overcast. I've been listening a lot to Mayim Bialik and her podcast. She and Jonathan Cohen, the two of them are doing this podcast, and it's called Mayim's Breakdown. Mayim Bialik's Breakdown, MBB. And I tell you what, she has got some really, really interesting stuff on there. It's interesting, especially seeing as she is, a neuroscientist. So, she has this idea already that, science, but yet she does have a faith as well. She does have a belief. So, so she's one of those that mixes the two. And this really just it hits that border right there, and it just rides the edge, and I love it. So yeah, she's got some really cool stuff on there, and she and Jonathan couldn't be more different. She's on the scientist side, he's more on the spiritual side, and yeah, but it's fun. But one of the things that they talk about on there, they had a couple of them on there that I saw. I mean, I haven't seen all of them, obviously, but one of them was with oh my goodness, what do they call her? The medium from New York. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of it? Oh my goodness. Okay, anyway, her name is Teresa, and she's got the big blonde hair, and I always thought, because I started watching Kim Russo before I started watching her, and I never really watched a lot of Teresa's stuff because Kim Russo just seemed so genuine, and I truly believe she is, but for some reason I got a different vibe from the Long Island medium. That's who she is. Yes, the Long Island medium. I got a different vibe from just the little bit that I did see, and I think it's because I watched her doing shows with audiences rather than one-on-ones like Kim Russo was doing that I saw. But they had the Long Island medium, Teresa, on their podcast at one point, and I was listening to that, and their podcasts are long. They're like 2 hours. Don't worry, I'm not going to do that to you guys. Unless it's something really interesting. I might. I don't know. We'll see. But, I'm listening to her and how real she is. And I'm like, okay. So clearly I am not an intuitive, at least through the television. Because that was, it was very cool. She's very, very bright. And some of the stuff that she said is incredible. I have always had a fear of death. And, a lot of people do. It's not something that's uncommon. And it's not necessarily the death process, it's what's beyond it. And, I have faith that there is God. I have faith that there is a heaven. But I also know that faith is built on trust. And I do have a trust issue. Not with God, but with everything else in the world. I do have a trust issue. And I question a lot of things. And I have been questioning things for a long time. And something that she said time and time again, she has been shown by the souls. She doesn't call them spirits, she calls them souls, which I agree with. She said, she has been shown by the souls that once you pass, you are greeted. She said you are greeted by those who passed before you, that, those loved ones that passed before you. And then she said your soul goes through a transformation or a transition where she said you go back and you relive moments of your life. Well, she said your life, but I'm guessing it's more like, moments where you had to make big decisions. And you look at those decisions and, would you have done something differently? She also, and then she said after that, then your soul goes through another transition, and that was pretty much all she said about that. But she said that souls will come back. And I heard that from Kim Russo as well, and I have heard that from other psychic stuff that I've seen, basically like reincarnation. And this is coming from Teresa, the Long Island medium, is a Catholic, practicing Catholic. She said the Catholics don't believe in what she believes, but they happily take her money every week. So, she is, someone who grew up in a Catholic faith, who believes it wholeheartedly, but yet she knows that there is something a little different than what the Catholics are believing, along with every Christian. I mean, I don't know any Christian faiths out there that preach that your soul will come back and try to redeem itself. It's like, from what I had heard before, was that your soul will go, when you go to heaven, when it goes to heaven, it will go through and look at things and say, okay, you know what, I could have done better there. And so God will send you back, and you get a chance to redeem yourself. And you keep coming back until you have learned all your lessons. And then you are enlightened, and you can stay in heaven. That's kind of how I heard it and how I took it. I am absolutely fascinated with that whole process, with that whole thing. And I tell you what, my fears have been eased tremendously, knowing that, or hearing that there is something different, but it's not scary. I read a thing from a guy that had a near-death experience one time, and they all say, oh, it's peace, it's love, it's warm, it's embracing, it's soft, it's gentle. This guy said it is scary, it is these creepy, tall, shadowy things in the dark, and he said, that's what's at the afterlife. He said, and it's scary, and it's, and I'm thinking, oh my God, is that really what it is? I was kind of in a panic. I kind of had a small panic attack at that point, because that's scary to me. I don't want to go to a place that, like that. But then I had to start to think, well, okay, was he in heaven, or was he in purgatory, or did he just go straight to hell? I mean, what, where was he? That's the only one like that I'd heard. But it was weird. I looked at that, and that panicked me. But then after hearing all of this other stuff, I think he was either misinterpreting or was someplace else. Because I am feeling much better about that whole situation. So anyway, I am pulling into Walmart. Got to get a few things for work, and you guys have a good day. Lots of love to you. Bye.